Washington, D.C. A big crowd is here tonight to watch high school football. The visitors are DeMatha High from Hyattsville, Maryland. Not just a basketball powerhouse, they can play football too. This is an intense rivalry game. These teams play twice per year. We're also here to see Jelani Jenkins, one of the great linebackers in the country. Jenkins and good counsel against DeMatha next. Here come the good Counsel Falcons. Welcome to the Old Spice High School Showcase presented by the United States Marine Corps from Klein Stadium, Olney, Maryland, not far from Washington, D.C. We match up two Washington Catholic Athletic Conference high school rivals, DeMatha of Hyattsville, Maryland, and Our Lady of Good Counsel High from here in Olney. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the greater Washington, D.C. area. It's great to have you with us. This is Dave Ryan. We're here to see Jelani Jenkins tonight. He's the number 9 ranked overall player in the ESPN U150 at ESPNU.com. A fantastic linebacker. Now, so far this year on the ESPN family of networks, we've seen Matt Barkley out at Modern Day High School in California. Aaron Murray from the Tampa area headed to play for Mark Richt at Georgia next year. Ruben Randall as well, a great wide receiver prospect from Bastrop, Louisiana. Joined again in the booth tonight by Tom Luganville, ESPN's Director of High School Football Recruiting. And Tommy, you talked Jelani Jenkins, great linebacker prospect, 37 offers at one point. He told us this week he's down to 15. The question is, where's he going to end up?
Oh, he's got the pick of the litter, that's for sure. And Jelani Jenkins fits into the mold of what college coaches are looking for in their linebackers. Not very big. You see him there at about 6'1", 210 pounds, but he's got great sideline-to-sideline speed. You see 5 of those 15 schools Dave mentioned that he's considering, and many coaches will be on hand here tonight to watch him perform. But there's 3 traits about his game that set him apart. Closing speed. What Jelani Jenkins does is he closes the gap between him and the ball carrier very quickly. He's also an explosive tackler. He's the type of guy that gets shot out of a cannon when he lays into opposing ball carriers. And he's the type of guy that plays well in space. You see him dropping into coverage there and then closing on the football and demonstrating the great ball skills. He's a complete package. He's coveted by everybody. We'll see if he can perform tonight versus a stingy offensive front for DeMatha.
Bob Lawrence, the head coach at Good Counsel, long time and very successful coach in the Washington, D.C. area. He has won 8 different state titles at different schools, but not at Good Counsel so far. Head-to-head with a legend of these parts, Bill McGregor, 27th year. As a head coach, he's been at DeMatha since 1982. 280 players of his have gone on to earn Division I scholarships, several to the NFL. We have 6 active players from DeMatha right now in the National Football League. And Tommy, why don't you take the rules this week?
Well, as always at the high school level, we do have a shortened quarter down to 12 minutes per quarter. And the kickoffs and the upright width, 2 key areas you need to focus on in regards to the kicking game. And in a close game, we always know that special teams could have an effect. And the T on the field goal and PAT, that's the 1-inch block. Yes, in high school, no in college. So these youngsters, sooner or later, if they have hopes of kicking in college, need to learn to do so off the ground.
Mark Hamilton will kick off for Good Counsel, the home Blues. And we are underway. That will be a touchback. Emmanuel McPherson in trouble with the handle at the goal line. And the Stags, led by their quarterback Tom Croninger, will take over. 1st and 10 on their first possession. Tom, we saw Croninger a year ago at the Kirk Herbstreit Classic in Cincinnati. As a junior, impressive, gotten that much better this year.
He certainly has. That was his first game as a starter a year ago as a junior. Now he's a little bit more of a seasoned veteran. He's got a lot of interest and some offers from some Mid-American Conference schools. Maybe waiting for a possible Big East offer to come at some point. It'll be interesting to see how he performs in the passing game tonight.
First play of the game. Handoff run right. Dante Washington rumbles for about 4 on first down. Let's check in with the Nike starting lineups. Watch out for Michael Milburn, a 6'2 senior. More impressive, the GPA at 3.8 grade point average. He is the DeMatha senior student body president. And the offensive line got to be Pete D'Souza, a monster right tackle. He is 6'7", 308 pounds, of verbal commit to Maryland to play for Ralph Region next year. Terps off to that great 4-1 start. Second and 6. Play goes right, gain of 3. On the short carry from Marcus Coker. So our Nike Good Counsel starting lineup. Devin Gordon-Ham does it all. Football, wrestles, track and field, plays the trombone, and a 3.5 GPA as well. That's impressive, young man. We're all here to see Jelani Jenkins in action. Fierce hitter, tracks the ball carrier, sideline to sideline. What a talent. Mike Wallace, a good one in the secondary, leads the Falcons with a couple of interceptions. He has 5 offers, including UConn, undefeated for Randy Edsel this year. Third down. Washington running left. First down and more. Dante Washington staggers across the 40. Nice pickup for Dante Washington. Give him 8 and a first down. Garrett Schmidt tracks him down.
Now, Dave, if you could script how you would want your game plan to be offensively for DeMatha, you'd want 3rd and short after 2 consecutive run plays, and that's exactly what DeMatha got here in the first series. And watch out for this big mammoth offensive line attacking downhill right at Jelani Jenkins, because he is a tad bit undersized. He's playing inside tonight, where at the college level he will likely play as an outside linebacker. So he's got to be careful. He gets caught in a phone booth and a fist fight in the offensive front.
On first down. Little play fake, maybe a broken play. Croninger, trouble, down he goes. Jenkins gets to him first. Jelani Jenkins, a loss of 6, ranked number 9 on the ESPN 150. Tommy, our second-rated linebacker in that poll.
Well, you see him right here, kind of reading, reacting. He sees what he believes is the ball carrier, but it's not, because they got a broken play in the backfield by DeMatha, and then he redirects. And again, I talked about the closing speed to the ball carrier. He really closes the gap. He's got great quickness within the hole. I mentioned before, Dave, the phone booth analogy. That's what coaches use. If you get a bigger guy as an offensive lineman versus a smaller guy inside the box, that's a phone booth matchup, and that's not what Jelani Jenkins wants to get himself involved in tonight.
Whistle stop play. Jelani Jenkins looking at Penn State, Notre Dame, USC, UCLA, Michigan. Michigan State among many choices. Delay of game backs up the Stags 5. Rico Carpenti is our referee tonight. And I'll tell you, Tommy, he's got the war paint going. Jelani Jenkins is ready for this game. We had a great conversation with him this week, and he's the most gentle, easygoing guy off the field. As Coach Malloy told us, put him between those white lines, and he is some tough, a beast out there. Second down. Croninger rolls right, fires, looks there for Emmanuel McPherson. Incomplete along the far sideline. Alfred Thompson on coverage, sets up 3rd and very long for Tom Croninger. And DeMatha High School. Now, Tom. Got a lot of Toms here. He is a verbal commit, was one, to Eastern Michigan, but then recently decommitted. Tom, how does that whole process work?
Well, you can obviously verbally commit at any point throughout the course of your high school career, primarily throughout the spring of your junior year, heading into your senior year, but it's not binding until you sign on the dotted line come February.
3rd and 20. Perhaps a future Eagle, lofts it downfield. McPherson brings it in. Emmanuel McPherson. And now one official says incomplete. Let's see. We'll see what we got. And they agree. They agree that it is incomplete.
And that'll bring up the 4th down.
Punting situation coming up here.
You know, 3rd and 20, and 2nd and 20 for that matter, for DeMatha is not what they want to be in. That's not what this offense is predicated upon. And that's just very simply a dropped ball by Emmanuel McPherson, number 1 right there. It was a great throw by Tom Croninger. But this is not the type of offensive field position you want your offense to be in if you're DeMatha. You are built on power run game and grinding it out on the ground.
Michael Brandt over to punt. Porzell and Scott are deep. Caleb Porzell, number 2, won't handle here. It's Scott on the bounce. Porzell's a commit to Maryland. E.J. Scott Fordham trying to get loose. Wrapped up. Slammed down outside the 45-yard line. Time on the field. We'll take one as well. 17-yard return. E.J. Scott. Brandt over. 39-yard punt.
Play Streak for the Cash free on ESPN.com. Predict the winners, build a streak, win $1 million. Play now. Go to ESPN.com, search Streak.
I, Brian Urlacher, challenge thee to an honor duel.
A what?
An honor duel.
That was me, Brian Urlacher. Then I started using swagger from Old Spice. Who's laughing now? Me.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
ESPN's presentation of the Old Spice High School Showcase, presented by the United States Marine Corps, is brought to you by Old Spice Swagger, the scent that makes a difference. And by the United States Marine Corps, the few, the proud, the Marines. 50th anniversary of Our Lady of Good Counsel High School, but it was in a different town about 7 miles away in Wheaton, Maryland. Has been moved here to Olney, Maryland just about a year and a half ago. This is a tremendous new facility, and they love to watch Jelani Jenkins. For more on him, let's go to Quint Kesnick.
Hey, Dave, here's what you need to know about Jelani Jenkins as a person. First of all, he's only 16 years old as a senior, yet he is very confident. He's a mature young man. He's humble. He's quiet. He's shy. He does not like talking about himself. He does not like talking about where he's going to be going and playing football in college. Now, his advantage right now, I see, is his supporting cast. His dad, Maurice, his Stephanie, his mom, and his stepdad, Ernest. They have simplified his life. It's just school, football, and homework. They have buffered him from the recruiting chaos. They allow him to excel on the field and in the classroom, away from the distractions.
Quint, thank you. Porzell carrying. Caleb Porzell, a Maryland commit, running right. He's got 5 yards on the first down carry. He's been bothered by a sprained ankle. We'll tell you about that, but looks pretty good on that first run. Only got into the practice scene for them over the last couple days. Tyler Campbell is the quarterback. He will lead this offense for the Falcons. A senior and a team captain. Started off as a sophomore, getting significant playing time. Very good student as well. 2nd and 5. Caldwell throwing. Porzell catching. Caleb 40. That ankle looks pretty good. 30. Still on his feet. Spun through tacklers. Down he goes inside the 25-yard line. 24-yard pickup. Caleb Porzell looks just fine, thank you. Latimer makes the play finally for the Stags.
Dave, Ryan, I think there are no more lingering questions about Porzell's ankle. He looks quick, explosive, exactly what we saw on tape. And I like the little wrinkle out of the backfield, mixing it up with the throw from Tyler Campbell. That caught DeMatha off guard defensively. And now great field position and a first down for Good Counsel.
Sure is. Spoke with Caleb yesterday. He's got blistering speed. 4.25. You can believe that. Here comes Jenkins, counter give, Jelani Jenkins. He can run as well as a tailback, and that's a rumbling, bumping, stumbling type run. He is a big target to try to tackle. 14 yards for Jenkins, who carried the mail last week when Porzell was hurt. Nike starting lineup for good Counsel. We told you about Caleb Porzell, a commit to Maryland, a 4.2 40 ankle injury in the last game. On the first play of the last game has slowed him down. Offensive line watch for the center, Jack Higgins. His dad, David, the team doctor and orthopedic surgeon who has worked with the NBA's Wizards and traveled to Beijing for the U.S. Olympic team as well. Porzell carries. Shotgun look, quick handoff. Slugs his way down to about the 7. Jeremiah Mathis from the defensive end spot makes the play. 5-yard gain. Nike starting lineup. DeMatha defense. Keep an eye on Mathis up front. Two-way player. Also a tight end on offense. He's big. 6'4", 240. A senior and a good prospect. Linebacker Raheem Cardwell. A verbal commit to play for Greg Robinson at Syracuse. The Orange, a couple of assistant coaches here tonight to watch him. And the secondary, Emmanuel McPherson, a two-way threat. Brother Garrett played for Maryland and briefly for the New York Giants in the NFL. Timeout called by DeMatha. They've got to be thinking here, Tom Luganville, on how to stop not one but two outstanding running backs in Caleb Porzell and Jelani Jenkins.
Well, and you get a little bit of a thunder and lightning effect with Jelani Jenkins being kind of more of the workhorse, the big, tall, upright galloper, and the diminutive Caleb Porzell, who is so quick and bursts through the hole so fast. And there's one thing you've got to know about the young man is there's a difference between being short and being small. He may be short, but he's not small. Very well put together. And Jelani Jenkins, he says he weighs 210. Well, I know that they say muscle weighs more than fat. Well, he must have a lot of muscle on him because he looks like he's about 215, 220. Very well put together.
Boy, is he ever. Coming into this game, he's carried for 9 rushing touchdowns, 224 yards, 7 yards a carry. How do you tackle a guy like that, Tom Luganville? You're approaching him defensively. What do you do?
Well, you better go low on him because he's already going to have the low center of gravity advantage on you, and he's so quick and elusive laterally. What I like about him is he can burst through the hole up inside, but he can also bounce plays to the edge, turn the corner, and be a home run threat.
3.9 GPA. Penn State, Notre Dame, UCLA, USC, Stanford, among many. Jelani told us this week when we spoke with him are on the list. Lines up here to the right of Campbell. 2nd and 5. Porzell, the end around. Looking for the end zone. He'll have a touchdown. What a start for the home team. 7-yard scoring run. Caleb Porzell, future Maryland Terp, and a chance now for the PAT. Mark Hamilton comes in. He's a senior and a 3-year starter. Got a very good leg to try to add the point after. He is now 22 for 22 on PATs this year. It appears Caleb Porzell's ankle is A-OK. He was hurt in the first play of the game last week. Twisted his left ankle. That's a burst. That's explosion.
$583 from cashforgold.com. All I did was look through my drawer full of jewelry that I never wear.
Turn your unwanted or broken jewelry, gold, silver, platinum, rings, chains, and bracelets into cold hard cash from cashforgold.com.
I had no idea my gold jewelry was worth so much money.
With gold, silver, and platinum at their highest value in decades, cashforgold.com is able to give you top dollar for your unwanted jewelry. And because we own our refinery, we can cut out the middleman, which means means more cash in your pocket.
I sent in my diamond wedding band from my first marriage and got money the very next day.
Just call the number below and ask for your free, prepaid, insured refiner's return pack. Fill the envelope with your unwanted or broken gold, silver, and platinum jewelry and mail it to our processing center. A safe, reliable transaction with satisfaction guaranteed.
Call 1-800-970-6985. Call now.
Wow, look at the crowd. Man, over a couple of hours, 2,500 tickets sold here, most of students. The school was let out at about midday to allow all the kids to go home, get themselves all painted up and ready for the big game. And they are back and ready. A lot of them were lined up 3 hours before kick tonight. Hamilton kicks it off. Knox and McPherson are deep. That's an automatic touchback. Knox grabbing it beyond the goal line. That is the rule in high school football for safety reasons. Saturday at noon Eastern on ESPN. Catch Joe Paterno and his 6th-ranked undefeated Penn State Nittany Lions as they take on Purdue. Big Ten showdown. For more, log on ESPN.com. First big road test maybe for Penn State after beating Syracuse on the road. Other than that, not too tough for them.
I think so a little bit. I think you could argue as well that Penn State is the best team right now in the Big Ten.
Wow. Here comes Tom Croninger and the offense again. He'll keep running right. Got 5. Got 10. Almost 11 yards. Tom Croninger, the senior, initially a commit to Eastern Michigan. He is recently decommitted. His coach Bill McGregor telling us this week that Tom is hoping for potentially an ACC or a Big East offer down the road.
And he's been very forthright with the Eastern Michigan coaching staff. They understand what he's going through. They just don't want to get beat on him by a team out, within the MAC. If they're going to get beat, they want it to be by a team in a BCS conference.
Buffalo, Akron, Ohio, also interested from the Mid-American Conference. 1st and 10. He'll throw here. The lefty fires, incomplete. Trying to hit Michael Milburn. A little too hot to handle for Milburn, the senior, who is the president of the student body. And a good-looking prospect, Tom himself, at 6'4", nearly 200 pounds.
Big target out wide, and understand this football team from a year ago lost a big-time player in Kenny Tate, who's now playing as a true freshman for the University of Maryland, and he's playing as a safety, and he was a safety running back wide receiver for this team when we saw him a year ago in the Kirk Herbstreit Classic, as you mentioned.
DeMatha lost 13 players to Division I scholarships from last year. How about that? From one team. Conjure option look. Pitch. Goes left. And Marcus Coker, who's overcoming an injury himself, picks up 4 there. Tracked down by Garrett Schmidt eventually from his strong safety spot.
Now watch Jelani Jenkins now. He sees as he's going to scrape. Now he gets downhill, takes the proper pursuit. Now close the deal, Jelani. Make the tackle. You get there. You force the play laterally. Now close it down.
Number 9, ESPNU 150. Check out ESPN, ESPNU.com. Jelani Jenkins. 3rd, they call it 5. Croninger keeps. Looking for the 40 for the first down. Depends on the spot. Running hard right. Lewis Young eventually puts him down to the natural surface here. And it appears he's short. Not by much.
Well, the offense for DeMatha is built for 3rd and short, 4th and short. But I don't think head coach Bill McGregor on the DeMatha sideline likes his chances right here with how they came out of the gate defensively. He's going to punt this football and place in field position.
Scott and Porzell are deep. You do not want to kick it to number 2 in blue, folks. That's dangerous if you're Michael Branthover, the sophomore. Gets the kickoff. It's Scott, who has trouble with a handle, but it goes out of bounds. 34-yard punt for Michael Branthover. Good Counsel already up by 7. Takes over again. Campbell back to the field when we return.
Saturday, Game Day makes its first ever visit to Nashville for an SEC collision between Auburn and Vandy, the architect behind Bama's QB success, and the nation's most electric all-purpose threat. ESPN College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, Saturday at 10 a.m.
ESPN360.com, your online home for live college football. Catch out-of-market and exclusive matchups wherever you are. Watch more than 300 games live or replay any great moments you've missed. Log on to ESPN360.com.
Want to get strong? Want to get lean? Want to get ripped? Well, now you can with Iron Gym. Iron Gym turns any door into your own personal gym in just seconds. Its unique design wraps around your door frame and uses leverage, so there's no screws and no damage to your door. Start off with chin-ups and pull-ups to develop and strengthen your shoulders, arms, back, and lats. And with 3 different grip positions, narrow grip, wide grip, and neutral, you can switch up your routine and keep challenging your muscles. But we're not finished there. Take it to the floor for deep push-ups. And it's a sturdy base for tricep dips. Then finish off with gut-busting crunches. In just minutes a day, you'll build lean muscle and get ripped. Order Iron Gym today for just 2 payments of $29.99. You'll also get these hanging ab straps for an explosive abdominal workout. But call right now and we'll cut the price in half. That's Iron Gym with hanging ab straps for just 1 payment of $29.99. But you've got to call now.
Many of you sports fans have heard of DeMatha High School because of this gentleman, Morgan Wooten, who coached from 1956 to 2002. Great high school basketball and football coach. Recent Hall of Fame inductee, Adrian Dantley. We saw him a moment ago, a member of one of Coach Wooten's teams. And Bill McGregor in his 27th year as head coach of DeMatha spoke to us this week, Tom, about the role Morgan Wooten has had with so many coaches, so many people in this area. An absolute legend. He won 5 mythical national titles. Here comes Tyler Campbell in the offense for good counsel. Rolling right, throwing on first down. Looking downfield, has a man. And that's caught. A tremendous play by E.J. Scott, given 33 yards. He was blanketed by Emmanuel McPherson. Scott comes back and makes a great catch.
Was a great catch right there. Did a nice job. Tyler Campbell throws the ball with just enough air down the sideline. And good job getting his hands underneath the football, cradling it, not allowing it to touch the ground.
Nice call by the official, too. Great catch. First down. Jenkins. Belly player right up the middle. Nice stop right away by Patrick Golden. His senior, good two-way player who runs the ball well, his coaches say. So more on Morgan Wooten. And Morgan was just involved in a recent alumni function. Bill McGregor said they were there together. They still talk quite often, a couple times a month. And the same for Bob Malloy, who has been around this area for a long time. Both the head football coaches here are real legends, and they both leaned on Morgan Wooten over the years, haven't they?
Look at that record. Well, they certainly have. When you win as many games as Morgan Wooten has, you might start paying attention.
Second down. Porzel running left. Got some room. 20, 15, 10, 5. Forget about it. Touchdown, Caleb Porzel. 39 yards. I believe the ankle is just fine, thank you. Hamilton has the point after. Tom, yesterday you and I attended a good counsel practice. Caleb Porzel was late for practice, getting treatment on the ankle. He limped down the hill. Didn't look 100% during the workout. He looks great tonight.
There is no limping here. Now, he may be committed to the University of Maryland to play for the Turtles. He does not move like a turtle. He moves like the hare. Quick, explosive, and while the entire defense there collapsed on Jelani Jenkins at the fullback spot, he looked like he just squirted through there and then let his speed do the rest.
Originally a commit to play for Algro at Virginia. Caleb told us yesterday, and we talked about Tom Croninger, Tommy, decommitting from Eastern Michigan. Same for Caleb. He said, yeah, I went during a junior outing that they had down there for junior players in high school. Was very impressed, loved the campus, then thought about it more with my family and retracted the commitment.
You start making decisions and, you know, you haven't seen anything on an official basis. Maybe you haven't even been to campus. You see there, Coach Rouse Friesian's got to be loving what he's seeing out of his incoming running back, Caleb Purcell. But the bottom line is you got to see what's out there and educate yourself on the process before you get solidified on a college choice.
Hamilton the kickoff. He's got a great leg. No chance at all for Knox, and another touchback. Let's go back down to Quinn.
Thanks, Dave. I'm with the proud dad of Jelani Jenkins, Maurice Jenkins. When did college football become a reality for Jelani?
Jelani, we've been thinking about college football ever since Jelani was 6, 7 years old, playing Little League football at Wheaton College.
You've narrowed the college field down from 37 to 15. You said you have a matrix of categories that you think are important. What are some of those categories?
Well, the diversity of the school is very important. Of course, academics is very important to us. The program in reference to whether they are potentially going to be BS potential for the championship games, and all of those things are major factors for us.
You've been very patient. You don't really have a timetable. When do you expect to take 15 down to 5 for your official visits?
We anticipate probably in about a month. We're going to go to a couple of schools and basically meet the coaches, talk to the position coaches, and make some decisions after that.
Thank you, Maurice. Good luck.
Okay.
Dave.
All right, Quinn, thanks, and thanks to Maurice for his time. Family decision when it comes to Jelani's eventual choice. Run up the middle. Coker, nothing doing there. Bottled up by A.J. Bowman. His dad, Wendell, played college baseball. A.J. a big LaDainian Tomlinson fan. He's got a 3.5 GPA and wants to be a sports trainer one day. Right now he's training the offensive lineman of DeMatha about a couple things.
They just can't seem to get in sync this offensive front for DeMatha, which holds a huge weight advantage over Good Counsel defensively, but they're stymied at this point.
3rd and 10. Croninger, shotgun. Here comes the pressure from behind. He's hit. Ball is loose. Picked up. Jenkins is going to score a touchdown. Jelani Jenkins scoops up the loose change. He's in for 6. Pressure from Tim Anderson, 19 yards on the fumble return. And it's about to be 21-0. This is a shocker. Good Counsel has had fits over the years trying to beat their arch rival in the Catholic League here in the Washington, D.C. area. Hamilton stays perfect. Tom, you know your quarterback growing up. You have that clock going off in your head. Yeah. Should Tom Croninger release this ball or what?
Right about now, yes, but he has no sense that it's coming. And Tim Anderson, number 52, comes off the edge, absolutely demolishes Tom Croninger, forces the fumble, and Jelani Jenkins has Tim Anderson to thank for the scoop and score. Johnny on the spot, Jelani Jenkins. And watch him try and redirect. He sees the ball now. Look at him close on that football. Get upfield, 421 points on the board. You mentioned the fits that DeMatha has given Good Counsel over the years. Bob Beloy at Good Counsel is only 2-10 versus DeMatha, off to a wonderful start here tonight.
Each team 10-2 a year ago, but 4 straight Washington Catholic Athletic League championship games. Coach McGregor's team has defeated Good Counsel, and they've been very close games. Last year, Good Counsel won in the regular season. Hamilton to kick again. Jeff Knox, McPherson are deep. Right at the goal line, Emmanuel McPherson. Gets out to about the 20. Smothered there on special teams. Mike Natoli, backup fullback, makes the play. And Tom Croninger in the offense reeling here after the big hit by Tim Anderson. Anderson used to wear number 88, switched to 52 because he plays a lot of offensive line as well at a tackle spot. And Coach McGregor, for good reason, very concerned early here.
52 doesn't seem to be as fast of a number as 88.
Yeah, 88's a little faster. Here comes the Stag offense again. Washington tripped up backfield. Wow. Thompson comes in and flips him over. Alfred Thompson, free safety, a junior, who had an interception against Friendship Collegiate during this regular season.
Well, remember how I mentioned earlier that DeMatha's not a football team that's built around 3rd and longs and 2nd and longs. That's not their game plan. They're also not one that's built for being down 21-0. They're not going to get in the spread. They're not going to chuck it all over the lot. So they're going to have to come up with some wrinkles and find some ways to get back into this football game within their grand scheme of things.
2nd and 10. Croninger pump fake. Then throws a go route deep downfield. Incomplete. Looking there for Michael Coley, who's got some real speed. Good pressure by Thomas Kokolas. In again on Croninger. One of the better looking balls we've seen from Croninger tonight.
They ran the little slant and go, or as coach would call it, a sluggo. And Croninger did a good job, you know, pumping it down inside and then going up top. Nice ball, just a little bit beyond the outstretched arms.
Coley Jr. also starting corner on the defense. Couldn't quite make the catch. 3rd and 10. Pressure. Screen. Washington. Nowhere to run. Nowhere to hide. Devin Gordon-Ham right in his grill. Puts him down. And Jenkins there again. Loss of 1. Stags going nowhere. They've got a punt.
This is actually a great job here by Jelani Jenkins because he is blocked. And he's locked up. You're going to see him right there on the left side of your screen. He sniffs out screen, and then he works his way around the block. Just a great job. You see him come up. He knows it. Now he's got to break tackles. He's got to slip tackles. Does a good job. Outstanding job reading and reacting.
Brandt over another punt. Porcel lets it go. Scott at the 46, reverses ground. Looking for a wall on the right side. Always got to watch those illegal blocks. Tries to cut back in and doesn't get far. A lot of running around for a loss of a yard on the return. Cardwell made the play defensively for DeMatha, the verbal commit to Syracuse. Let's get to know Jelani Jenkins a little better.
My name is Jelani Jenkins, and I'm an outside linebacker for Good Counsel High School. My favorite pro team is Redskins, and my favorite pro athlete is Sean Taylor. I'm most excited about playing on ESPN because it gives us a chance to show how Maryland plays football, and it gives us some shot on national television. My favorite pregame ritual is a little prayer that my father taught me, and it goes, God is in me, God is through me, God is for me, and God is with me. With God,
and while we're getting to know him a little better, how about Caleb Porcel getting to know another touchdown? 56 yards on the pitch left. Caleb Porcel has his 3rd TD of the first quarter. And Ralph Friedgen says, oh yeah, baby. He's headed to College Park next year to be a Turtle. Wow. 5 carries, 112 yards, and 3 touchdowns for the guy who has been bothered all week, hasn't had a full practice since being hurt last week with a sprained ankle. Maybe should turn his ankle every week.
Yeah, 24 seconds left to go in the first quarter, 3 touchdowns. I'd say he's having himself a night.
Later in the broadcast, we'll review some of the great performances Tom and I have seen on ESPN this year of all the tremendous players. I believe Mr. Porcel, Tommy, may top the list after this first quarter.
Absolutely. And, you know, Good Counsel offensively just doing enough at the point of attack to sustain blocks, and then it's Caleb Porcel's speed doing all the rest.
Man, oh man, tearing it up, Caleb Porcel.
How about the average yards per carry there?
That'll do it. Oregon, Illinois, West Virginia, Pitt, Virginia. As we mentioned, he committed originally to UVA, then decommitted. Now he's a verbal commit for that guy, Ralph Regan, to Maryland. And they play Virginia this weekend. Terps off to the 4-1 start, lost to Middle Tennessee State. But the big win against Clemson last weekend.
Well, they started off with a 1-touchdown win over Delaware. Then they lose to Middle Tennessee State. Now they've become one of the hottest teams in college football.
Hamilton again. Knox cannot make that play because it's over the goal line. Another touchback. Jeff Knox can't return it. And with just 24 seconds left in the first quarter, a shell-shocked DeMatha team coming in with a 3-1 record. Folks, this is a very good team. They're the defending league champions and one of the legendary programs in this part of the country. They are no slouch by any stretch, being embarrassed here tonight in the first quarter. A real shot. First down for Croniger. Hand off. Nothing doing Coker. Just can't get anywhere. Pitzenberger there to make the stop. He's the first one there. We asked Chris yesterday, and we saw him at practice, who's your favorite linebacker around? He said, Jelani Jenkins. Who else? I said, I meant the NFL or college. You said, it's still Jelani Jenkins, man. Come on.
That's great.
For good reason. What a first quarter for that young man. Number 9 of the ESPN U150. A tremendous opening 12 minutes for he and his Falcon teammates. They've been thinking about this game for months. Sold-out house, Klein Stadium in Olney, Maryland, near Washington, D.C. Who's stealing the show? Future Maryland Terrapin, Caleb Borzell, and Jelani Jenkins. Where's he going? We don't know yet. Number 9, ESPN U150.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hi, LL Cool J.
That was me, LL Cool J, before I started using Swagger from Old Spice. Now look at me. Nice.
The phone company has an important message for its customers. Don't listen to Vonage.
Well, over 2 million people have already joined Vonage.
Oh, really?
With Vonage, you get award-winning service quality with unlimited local and long-distance calls for just $24.99 a month.
Unlimited for just $24.99?
Are you having trouble keeping track of what your phone company is charging? With Vonage, your rate starts low and stays low.
Sign up now with Vonage and get 1 month free.
Call 1-877-4VONAGE or go online today.
His company doesn't offer medical insurance, so we needed an affordable health plan that fit our family's needs.
When I started my own business, I didn't think I could afford health insurance. I just wanted to be able to see my personal doctor once a year.
When I retired, we were years away from Medicare.
But we still needed protection. What if something serious happened?
So a friend recommended Assurant Health. We were able to protect our entire family. They even have a dental plan.
I saved hundreds of dollars by only paying for benefits I want. I even got a 15% discount just for being healthy.
We got $6 million in medical coverage and can even see the specialist we choose.
Without a referral.
For over 100 years, Assurant Health has been meeting the needs of individuals like you. Plans start under $100 per month.
These offers may not last, so call 1-800-229-0191 to lock in your rate for 2 years.
So where are we on the ESPNU recruiting trail? Mid-Atlantic State's not far from Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. Only Maryland And Our Lady of Good Counsel High School opened in January of 2007. This is a brand new school. Originally, the school was 7 miles away in Wheaton, Maryland. They moved here in 07, 52-acre campus located in the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Washington. 2 private Catholic schools. Good Counsel's co-ed, DeMatha all boys. First quarter, all Falcons, Tom Luganville.
Absolutely, and you see the yards on the ground for the Falcons. 126 of those 181 yards coming on the ground for the Falcons.
112 of those. Caleb Porcel, there he is, working that ankle out. 3 touchdown runs already. Second quarter underway. Roger handing off. Wow. Again, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide for Coker. Runs right into Kokolas. On the defensive front for the Falcons, he is a junior who came in with a couple sacks. Coach Malloy said strong, hard-working, solid player. Boy, the defense has been great. Look at that GPA. Speaking of great, take some AP advanced placement classes. So over a perfect grade average. Nice job, Thomas. Stags 1 for 4 so far on third downs. Roger screen pass. Run in. Skipping along that sideline is Michael Milburn. Terrell Miller made the stop, gain of 16. Finally something positive for the Stag offense here, Tom.
Well, Bob Malloy, the head coach at Good Counsel, yesterday while we spoke with him at his practice, he just looked at us and said, got a good feeling. I like our plan, and then followed that up with, but I wish I had one more day. Well, apparently he didn't need the one more day because they are performing very well here.
Stag's trying to get something going here. Coker running right again. Jelani Jenkins meets him. Gain of 1. Delonte Morton this time gets the carry. He's a fullback sophomore, 241 pounds. Big fan of LaDainian Tomlinson as well. He's had some fumble issues this year, along with Coker. But a young player. We told you that DeMatha lost so much talent. 3-star wide receivers all graduated. They're playing college ball. 2nd and 9. Bonds throwing, will slant. McPherson can't bring it in. Emmanuel McPherson might still be running if he grabs that one. Pretty good coverage, though, from Darrell Miller.
Bill McGregor on the DeMatha sideline, as the head coach mentioned to us on the phone this week, that what Croninger does at times is he gets a little excited and the ball sails high on him. And he's had 2 instances I've seen tonight where he's had an open receiver and that ball's come out of his arm, out of his hand quickly, but he's a bit high and out of the outstretched arms of his targets.
Only 2 for 8, 14 yards for Croninger. Most of the yards came on the Milburn screen a moment ago that finally got him a first down. Coley splits out left here on 3rd and 9. Croninger passing. Has time, fires. McPherson can't bring it in. A nice throw, Tom Croninger at the 45-yard line. Good coverage by Troy Gloucester. Alfred Thompson there as well. Troy Gloucester's older brother plays for Maryland and Ralph Region.
See, those sorts of things hurt you, and that's the 2nd drop on a critical 3rd down for the DeMatha offense tonight, and both of them committed by number 1, Emmanuel McPherson.
Croninger stays out there as the up blocking back here. Brandt over in the kick. Porzel and Scott are deep. Scott, 32-yard line, reverses speed, got some room. Around 1 tackler, laid out, hit hard by Tom Croninger, the quarterback, at about the 46-yard line. Falcons get it back on a 23-yard return by Scott.
Go to ESPN.com/results simulator to see what will happen if Kyle finishes first this weekend.
Now that's what I call good strategy.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
ESPN's presentation of the Allspice High School Showcase is presented by the United States Marine Corps. The few, the proud, the Marines. And by NikeFootball.com, leave nothing. Trophy case, incredible tradition, DeMatha High School, Hyattsville, Maryland. Here in the Washington, D.C. area, Danny Ferry, of course, played at DeMatha, at Duke. He's now the general manager of the Cleveland Cavaliers with John Wooden, the Wizard of Westwood. Played for Morgan Wooten, an all-time great coach from this area, both basketball and football. Here comes good counsel again. Boy, DeMatha's in a lot of trouble. Already down 28. They've had no answer for Caleb Porzel, lined up in the I formation here behind Jenkins. Jelani Jenkins, number 9, ESPN U150. Top linebacker prospect. Porzel up the middle. Nothing doing there. Back down to Quinn.
Dave, joined by a very special guest, Kevin Blackistone. You may recognize him from ESPN's Around the Horn and works for AOL Sports. He's actually a Good Counsel alum. We were talking about the rivalry. You went to Good Counsel in the 70s. What does it feel like to lead DeMatha by 4 scores?
I wouldn't have imagined this in my wildest dreams. I mean, DeMatha, they're the king of sports in the D.C. area, especially among the Catholic schools. And for Good Counsel, one, to be able to compete with them like they've been able to do the last 5, 6, 7 years or so, but to actually lay it on them like this is pretty good stuff. I 28-0 in the second quarter. I'm stunned. This program has grown up so much.
When you went to Good Counsel, it was in Wheaton. They moved up here a year and a half ago. Describe what you see in this gorgeous campus.
Well, the first time I came up here, I thought it was a boarding school. I mean, we were just a normal high school at the corner of Georgia and Arcola Avenues in Wheaton, and now this is literally a campus. We had one football field, no baseball field. I think they have practice fields here, a couple of baseball fields. They have programs of all manner that are doing well, a championship track team, lacrosse team, swimming teams. It really makes you feel good about your alma mater.
Quick question. You said you never could have imagined Good Counsel playing on TV, let alone having scouts from Penn State, Maryland, Syracuse. They're all here.
They're all here. I mean, when I was playing, I think maybe a guy or two came out from Catholic University to check us out, but that was about it. This is another level, but it makes you feel good that we've graduated to this rung in high school sports to go along with what we've been doing for years in high school academics.
Thanks, Kevin. Say hi to Woody Page for us. Dave.
All right. Campbell on the move. Boy, he gets hit hard and then thrown down. Lorenzo Waters, shoulder to shoulder, and then slams him down for a loss of 2. About the only thing that has not gone well for the Falcons. Third down coming up. Finishing up the interview there with Quint Tom. 25 alums for Good Counsel. Nice hit there for Waters. Playing college football right now.
You know, Tyler Campbell there, Dave, he's got to have a feel for that. His eyes were so focused downfield, which is where they need to be, but he's got to have a feel for it. And if he doesn't see what he likes, get rid of the football. Don't take a loss.
It's like Bob Sanders too, huh? Nice play. 3rd and 8. Delay handoff. Porzel again running left. Kyrell Latimer the first to get to him. Gain of 4 for Porzel. So one more comment, Tommy, on the tradition for Our Lady of Good Counsel. They've never won a Catholic League title here in the Washington area, but still 25 players in college football. Zach Hilton, former NFL player as well, played with the Giants and Saints.
Well, so much talent has come out of both of these programs, and talented people outside of sports as well, and that's what it's all about. Eventually, the goal is to produce productive citizens and college graduates, and these programs can both be proud to say that they do that year in and year out.
Coach McGregor's team in a heap of trouble right now. Saturday night, ESPN has 2 exciting college football matchups for you. First at 6 Eastern, 19th ranked Vandy, undefeated for Coach Johnson. What a year for them. They host 13th ranked Auburn. And then at 9 Eastern, Mizzou and Nebraska. Nebraska, the one loss to Virginia Tech this year. Big 12 battle coming up for more. Log on ESPN.com. I like the matchups coming your way.
That's the edge right there on your screen, and the difference between the SEC right now and the Big 12, the quarterback play. Now, I think you can argue that the SEC is probably stronger top to bottom on defense. I don't know if you can say that offensively and at the quarterback position. Look at the numbers, look at the productivity, and every one of those, you could argue, has Heisman caliber type of numbers and have had a Heisman caliber type of season. It's going to be really fun to watch these guys produce. And I'll tell you, Missouri and Nebraska could get themselves into a scoring race this weekend.
Borzell in the quarterback. We thought we might see some of this, and we're getting it. Drop, direct snap. Retreats, grabs it, slam down. On 4th down, they'll use a ton of yardage. Mathias makes the play, 16-yard loss. And the change of possession gives the Stags some much-needed momentum here.
Jack Higgins, number 62, the center, just really rockets that ball back there and surprises Caleb Porcel. They try to get into the direct snap, put the ball into the hands of their best player offensively, and it backfires. I like the fact that they went for it, Dave. 4th and 2, you're up 28-0. You got great field position. You still are playing on a long field defensively here.
Stags take over visiting Whites. Play action. Connor airs it out. Looks for McPherson, who brings it in. Emmanuel McPherson is going to score a touchdown for DeMatha.
That's the line, Emmanuel McPherson.
61 yards. And finally something to cheer about for the DeMatha kids. Guy they call Emack, who had a punt return for a touchdown and corner fade route TD catch in their last game. Big play here as well. Branthover has the PAT.
I think Emmanuel McPherson's ears are burning. He must have heard us up here in the booth. After 2 consecutive drops on 3rd downs, he comes up with the biggest play of the night for the offense in DeMatha. Great focus, turns on the Jets. We'll see if DeMatha can get right back in this. The fans certainly like it.
I'm 2 things in one. I'm a man and a pretty smart shopper. So I love that Old Spice has created a product with 2 incredible products and 1 awesome product. Double Impact to stripe together moisturizer and body wash. It's perfect. I should know I'm 2 great things. A man
and a provider.
Old Spice Double Impact. It's 2 things.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
If you've got over $10,000 in credit card debt and you can't ever see breaking free, then call J. Warren Financial and do it now. Being in over your head is a vicious cycle. J. Warren Financial will work on your behalf to get you out of debt and back on track. This is not bankruptcy. We fight for you using our proven experience and the insider programs that credit card companies try to hide. If you owe at least $10,000 to the credit card companies, you owe it to yourself to call J. Warren Financial at
800-610-5772.
A lot of college coaches are here. We see Coach Johnson, Coach McCurry of Penn State, Syracuse represented. On the far side there is Ralph Friedgen, James Franklin as well, the offensive coordinator from Maryland. Several Terp coaches here. The Terps have this guy for a verbal commitment. Caleb Borzell, he's deep. He sees the Branthover kick here. Scott grabs it, end zone. That is a touchback automatically for safety reasons at the high school level. Let's go to Steve Bunin in the studio. Steven.
Thanks, fellas. Here's what's going on SportsCenter right now. Evan Longoria is the hero in Tampa. Homers in his first 2 at-bats in the White Sox victory over the White Sox lost to Tampa. 6-4 the final score. We'll hear from Longoria at the half. The NBA decides that Tim Donaghy was the only referee involved in any illegal activity. Much more on your next SportsCenter following football. Now, back to Maryland. Dave?
All right, Steve, thanks. What a start for Evan Longoria and the Rays as they take their first ever postseason game down in the Tampa St. Pete area. Porzel smashed. Boy, he was hit hard right away by Ike Nwaba. First to get to him, along with Matthias. We're coming to you from Klein Stadium, Old New Maryland, just outside Washington, D.C. Old Spice High School Showcase presented by the U.S. Marine Corps. Dave, Tom Quint, our entire crew. It's great to have you with us tonight. Here to see DeMatha in the visiting Whites, the Stags against good Counsel High School, the Falcons and the home Blues. They're led by number 3 in blue, line up to the right of his quarterback Campbell right now, Jelani Jenkins. On second down, here he is, Jelani Jenkins, ranked number 9, ESPN U150, second-rated linebacker on the 150 as well. Stopped by Lakin's gain of 21. He is tough to stop in the open field. A linebacker prospect, Tom Luganbill, but he can play running back too.
Oh, and he'll tell you about it as well. He loves to play on the offensive side of the football. You see the ball skills, obviously, the adjustment to catch the ball thrown behind him. You know, all of the great prospects that we've seen, that we evaluate, and that we've seen on the family of networks are all versatile. Almost every one of them plays on both sides of the football.
First down for Campbell. Hands off Porzel, running right. And he stopped after a very short gain, if any. Hit by Patrick Golden. His mom, Judy, played lacrosse and college basketball. A big fan of Tom Hanks. Flipping around, saw Forrest Gump the other night.
I did too.
Love it.
Yeah.
Still great.
Playing for the Bear. You know, offensively for good